and welcome to another episode of the Woolly Mastadon Creates podcast, episode 7. My name is Tori, also known as Victoria around the internet, and I'm the creator behind the crazy. Today is April 3rd. It probably is going to go up tomorrow, so you'll probably be watching this on April 4th, but today is April 3rd. We're into April already. Let's see, I'll just tell you where I am on the internet so we can get into the good stuff, because today, this episode is finally going to be a longer one. I have a lot of stuff to share today. Oh, I'm so excited to share it, but let's start with, you can find me online, most active on Instagram, Victoria Schwanke on there. So that is where I'm most active. So if you want to see my day-to-day life, what I'm working on, other things I'm interested in, check out Instagram for sure. I'm also active on Ravelry as lilwestie, L-I-L-Westie. I do have a Facebook page for Woolly Mastadon. I'm also Victoria Schaffner on there. Oh, where else? Ravelry, Facebook. That's about it. Except for the biggest one, which would be, I do have a blog for this lovely podcast where it all began, woollymastadon.wordpress.com. Everything is linked below if you are going to look for that, and I also have it on the screen at the end, so you can find me in all of those places. But without further ado, let's get into this episode today. I have so much stuff to share. I actually have finished objects, FOs. I'm so excited. I haven't finished stuff in a while, and I was starting to drag, and then this last month it just pushed through and I finished a bunch of stuff. So I guess let's just get into the biggest one, the one I'm most excited about. It is my Vistors sweater by Emily Ringelman. It is done. I don't have any footage of me wearing it. Maybe I should try to insert it here, because seeing this in person or on the camera isn't going to go well, and I don't think it pays to put it on, because if I stand up you won't see anything. But it's this beautiful sweater. It's actually done. I'm so excited. Maybe if I hold it up long enough you'll be able to see the cable detail a little. I'm hoping that this is focusing on it. But I knit it to pattern. I knit everything as it was suggested. The only except I did make one modification. I was talking about last episode, I believe, and I talked about it on my blog. I was considering knitting the sleeves longer and then adding thumb holes, and I did just that. I have a beautiful thumb hole here. I got 2 fingers through it, but I knit my sweater so it has extra long sleeves with thumb holes. Can't beat that. Stats for this is knit out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the blackberry colorway. I had a lot of this, and I still have like 6 skeins left. 5? Maybe 5.5 skeins actually left of this. So this yarn could become something smaller, like hat and mittens or something, but I finished the sweater out of it. It was knit on US size, I'm going to check because I don't know millimeters to save my life. US size 5 or 3.75 millimeter, 6 or 4 millimeter. And then I actually, when I bound off the bottom, I didn't like how loose it was on the 5. So when I went to do the cuffs with the thumb hole, and then when I did pick up around the neckline, I used a US 4. I didn't check the millimeters for that. I'm sorry there. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy I did the thumb hole. We'll do the cheater method, thumb hole show off. I'm really glad I did the thumb hole, because I absolutely love sweaters that are like this. All of my hoodies and sweaters I have, these are my absolute favorite. And I also made sure that if I don't want the thumb hole, if I'm over the thumb hole today, I don't want to wear it that way, that these sleeves cuff beautifully, and then it's just a normal length sleeve, and then it's not in my way. You can't tell that it's got a thumb hole, and it looks nice. So I'm really glad I added that feature. I'm so happy the sweater's done. I finally am going to wear this a ton. I mean, it's finally warming up here. It's warming up. It's starting to get into the 30s and 40s most days, which is awesome. Although last night we had a baby snowstorm. By snowstorm, I mean it got like black outside and it just started snowing to beat the band, and we got a couple inches, but I mean, a couple inches for us isn't a storm. It's meh. And this was almost like, April Fools, here's some more snow, right when you think it's all gonna melt. But whatever. But I finished my sweater. It's beautiful. I'm excited. It's a little scratchy. I will admit this. It was a little scratchy even after I blocked it, but honestly, it doesn't bother me at all. I maybe wouldn't knit a scarf out of this because I don't want it like right up against my neck 24/7, but I wore this the other night, the day I finished it. It was done blocking and I quick pulled it up before my husband got home from work because once again, whenever I block something, we have about a foot of space to work by our kitchen because we have a small 1-bedroom apartment and like everything's connected except for the bedroom and the bathroom are off of like a baby square hallway. But like when I blocked my, what was that, suture shawl, it took the entire area. This took quite a bit of space, so I tried to pull it up off the floor one day before he came home from work, and I was wearing it, and he walked through the door. I'm like, look, I finished my sweater, and he's just looking at me like, okay. But then I wore it the rest of the evening because it's so warm and soft. It is going to be warm, which is great. It's much needed up here because it's normally in the winters it gets pretty cold. So I'm excited. This is done. Oh, I'm so excited. Ugh. Can you tell? Yeah, you're just like, get over it and move on to the next thing. But yes, my sweater is done. I would say this is my first like real sweater. I have technically knit other things. I've knit, what was it, $5 in Paris years ago, which was out of Karen's Simply Soft, and it was before I knew just about sweater knitting really. It was my first attempt, and so I knit the neckline way too huge. And I actually years later went back and fixed it, but even then I don't really wear it that much. It's cute. It's basically tunic length because I didn't know what I was doing. So sometimes I'll wear it with leggings and just in winter, but I don't wear it that often. And then I knit Split Stone 3 years ago now? 2 years ago? I don't remember. Maybe more. Maybe 3 years ago now? I don't remember. But I knit Split Stone, which is a vest. And so, I mean, that's technically not like a full-on sweater. So this is my like full real wool sweater. And I'm so excited. And it is done. So that's my first finished object. And I'm so excited. I actually have a couple. My second finished object is I finished my 9-inch circular socks. I don't really have like sock blockers to show you. I have those old ones, like almost antique ones, that fit Justin's socks, but my socks are too small to go on that. And my cardboard ones kind of are slowly biting the dust. So one of these days I need to buy some real ones. But I finished my socks. Can you see it? Is it gonna like focus a little bit and not be super dark? Ooh, yeah. There we go. That's a little better. But I love the patterning on these. Come on. Oh, the shadows today. The shadows today are brutal. Okay, I guess it's just going to be the shadows today are just going to be brutal. But yeah, I finished my socks, my 9-inch circular socks. They fit really well. It's taken all of my will to not wear these as soon as I finished them because I wanted to wear them right away. But I wanted to show them first, show them in their pristine beauty before I actually took them and wore them. So that is complete. I'm so excited about these. And I was excited enough about the 9-inch circulars that you'll find out that I did start another project, but these are finally done. I am so happy with these. I love them. And I knit them on size 0s because everything I had read said that when you knit on 9-inch circulars, you need it's a good idea to go down a needle size because your gauge is going to loosen up, and I normally knit on size 1s. So these are on US 0s or, the millimeters get me, 2mm needles. And honestly, I definitely knit tighter with these, and I love the fabric. I can't quite bring myself to knit all my socks on US 0s. There's something about that I'm just like, I don't want to do that. That's so small. But for these, since I got the needles and everything, these are a win. My last finished object, you guys have never seen before, and I just finished it. Well, you've seen the yarn. For the past, I don't know how many episodes, upcoming cast-ons, I kept saying I was going to knit Justin a hat out of that crazy yarn. Well, I finally knit him his hat out of that crazy yarn. And it's this striped This striped wonder. It's intense. It's great. But yeah, it's a crazy. It's just a ribbed, knit in the round hat with a gigantic pom pom. I didn't realize the yarn was striped this much, but I guess I should have, because here, I'll give you the stats and check it. Because it was knit out of Red Heart Super Saver stripes in the neon stripe colorway. And I knit them on US size 6 or 4.0 millimeter needles. Yeah, we have a small local yarn store, and then we have Walmart. And when we were in Walmart one day and I was browsing just to see if they had something, he had found this yarn and he picked it out and he said, I want a hat out of this. And I've been promising him this hat forever, and I finally finished it. I don't really want to put it on because it like attaches to my hair and just pulls it straight up, but yeah, it's finally done and now he can have it. I'm probably going to take a picture of it on me because he's super camera shy. He doesn't really want me to take finished object picture on him, but if I can get one I will. But otherwise it'll probably end up going on Ravelry on my head as a picture. But yeah, it's done. It took me a couple days. I cast it on so I would have something to work on at our Fiberama sale for my local community art center. And I didn't end up working on this at all, and I'll tell the story of that later, but so I just motored through it and finished it. So that's my final finished object. 3 finished objects for the week. Woohoo! Well, month. I guess it's a monthly podcast, so what can I say? But 3 finished objects. Whew. That was great. Like, I went through this finishing phase. So I'll go on to my cast on object, or my current works in progress, but honestly that's a lot less because I finished all these things and now I'm just like, I don't know what to knit next. I'm kind of like stuck. I'm like, oh, I could knit all of these things and I don't know what to knit next. So we'll see. I paused for 5 seconds just so I can get some lights on because it was just getting really dark. It's a sunny day and the clouds just decided to go, nope, we're coming out for a little while. So hopefully this will offset a little bit of the shadow. We'll see. But moving on to current works in progress, I finished some 9-inch circular socks, which meant I absolutely had to cast on some new ones. Oh no, I dropped a stitch. No, let me fix this quick. This is gonna drive me bananas. Okay. But I started another pair of 9-inch circular socks. Again, US size 0, 2 millimeter needles. But it's this really cute, it's like browns and blues and tans. It's really pretty. I like it quite a bit. It's really nice. This is actually knit out of Red Heart, Heart and Soul in the Lake House colorway. I bought this a couple of years ago now on clearance at like a Joann's or something, because I thought it was cute and the price was good. So I bought a couple skeins because you need 2 balls per pair, and this was one of the set colorways I got. And I decided to just cast it on. I'd rather cast it on and knit some socks out of it since I really like wearing my hand knit socks now than let it sit. So I opted for putting this on the needles and I'm really enjoying it. Obviously I'm not super far. This is what I knit on at the Fiberama sale. And we'll get to that a little later, but this is mostly what I knit on. So that's the main work in progress. I still have my a hug shawl cast on. I'm not going to share that today because I didn't get any progress on it. I haven't touched it. So I'm not going to share that here. I'm just kind of stuck on that. Not sure if I want to continue with it or not because I initially cast it on because I want to design things. I really want to get into designing. Like in my heart, that's where I want to go. I want to do all the things. I want to dye yarn. I want to design patterns. I want to be that person. Like I want to be that person. All you people out there, Suburban Stitcher, Woolen Vine, Jinx until you stop dying, but I'm very sad you just stopped dying. But Jinx Yarns, like all of these people, Molly of a Homespun House, I want to be like you guys. It's terrible. Like, that's what I want to do with my life. So, but I want to design patterns. Something I can do now that I can't dye yarn, not in this situation. Something I can do now, I can design patterns, but hasn't been going so hot. So that's just kind of sitting. And I was just sitting there the one night and I was talking to my husband. I'm like, I don't know what to cast on. I want to cast on a shawl. I want to cast on a sweater, but I'm in that point where I'm like, going around and around and around, and it has to be that perfect pattern for me to cast on, which I've got to let go. And I think I'm close to letting go of that and just casting something on. I think it's going to take me just exploding my stash, yarn stash, and picking out some yarns and deciding, okay, I want to knit with these, what can I knit with them? But I don't know what to knit yet, so I'm just kind of sitting on that, and I'm like, but I want to knit. I don't really want to knit on the socks, but I want to knit. And years ago, I used to knit baby hats to donate to the hospital, local hospital, and I stopped. I just stopped doing that. I haven't knit baby hats for the local hospital in years, but I have a lot of baby yarn, because when people found out that I was knitting baby hats to donate to the hospital, they gave me baby yarn. They're like, here, knit this into hats and donate it. I actually ran a craft group for a very short time at my church, and we all knit hats, and yeah, that's all in the past. But he's like, knit some baby hats, whether they go to the hospital or they go to people who have children, like have babies coming up, just knit baby hats. So that's what I did. And I actually, over the past couple days, because they're so fast, I've knit 4 baby hats. I had this yarn here. So I knit 2 of these. I have 2 of these here, and this is like all scraps of stuff that I had or had purchased years ago and I hadn't used up. So I have 2 of these little striped ones, which are really cute. I have one in this like teal minty color. Oh, I love this one. It's so cute. I finished a pink one last night, and this yarn is really soft. Like, this is buttery soft. And then that brings me to the one I'm currently knitting on, which is another pink one. The hats maybe look a little big, I don't know, I'm not sure on sizing, but everything I googled, the hats I used to knit were like extreme preemie hats. And I'm like, especially since one of my friends had a bigger baby, and I'm like, dang, none of these hats would have fit him. So I want to knit some hats for the bigger babies now. And even then, like, if I gift them to people, they'll fit eventually. Like, it doesn't have to be their first hat, but maybe they can wear it eventually. So I'm knitting more baby hats. I have a ton of baby yarn just sitting in a box that needs to get used up. I might as well knit baby hats out of it, because the more I find out, like, if I want to knit a baby project for somebody, I'm not necessarily using baby yarn. So not the baby colors. I feel they're a little cliche. But a good hat in any color is good. So I'm knitting baby hats. These are on US size 6, I think. Okay, trying to get to the shaft of the needle. Yep, US size 6 4mm needles. I'm just knitting them on my knit picks, interchangeables. Casting on 64 stitches, and just going to town for a certain amount and then just decreasing with my little stitch marker. Oh, son, why are you doing this to me? I want to be... You can't see that. There, maybe you can see that now. But that stitch marker, just to mark the front. And yeah, I've been knitting baby hats just to keep busy. No, we aren't expecting children. Maybe someday, but not right now. But just like, yeah, I've been knitting a whole bunch of baby hats, because then, you know, donating them to the hospital in the least would be a really nice thing. If not, saving some to give to people as gifts. Like, if somebody's expecting a baby and I don't have time to knit them something, I can at least give them a hand knit hat with some purchased things, and it works out. So I'm back on that for a little while. We'll see how long I knit hats again. Because hats and dishcloths have always been something I just kind of supplement in between when I'm really bored. So we'll see. But that's my current works in progress. I don't have much going, and I want to start something. So help me figure out what I want to start. But upcoming cast-ons. Let's move on to that. Well, the one I almost forgot to mention, but I knit my dad a couple hats for the Christmas season. I gave them to him for Christmas, and he's been raving about these hats. He said they're his favorite hats that he owns. They're by far his favorite hats I've ever knit him, because honestly, the hats I knit him in the past, it was when I was a new knitter and I didn't know what I was doing. So I knit him hats out of Knit Picks, Wool of the Andes, because I love telling the story. But the first time I ordered from Knit Picks, I had found out about them, and it was that when they're at their Thanksgiving, like Black Friday sale. And my dad and I actually sat down and ordered yarn together because my mom and mom decided what she wanted me to knit for her and out of what colors, and I ordered that. And then Dad was like, oh, I got to get on this bandwagon too. And he picked out colors too for me to knit him stuff. And this is years ago, and I never knit any of it up. So I finally last year started knitting it up. And I found a color, this maybe was eventually one of Mom's picks, but it's this beautiful, oh, I can't tell if you're going to be able to see this or not. This green. It's not like a forest green. It's called Noble Heather Knit Picks Wool of the Handies. It's almost like a grayish green, but more, it's not a blue tone green, it's more of a yellow tone green. I could say that. Trying to describe it because it is a heather, so it's almost got like a grayish thread through it and then this green, and so it mutes it out. It's this nice muted green color. And since he said he loved those hats so much, when I texted him and said, hey, I found some more of this yarn, you want me to knit me another hat? He was like, yes, knit me another hat. So that's an upcoming cast on. I'll stash that off to the side. I'm just throwing stuff on the floor. Another upcoming cast on is, I noticed that, I think it's Boyland Knitworks, they had a promo going. Maybe they always have this going, but I just never pay attention. I don't know. But if you buy 3 of their patterns, you get 1/4 one free. And I've had a bunch of her sweaters like in my queue forever, and a shawl. So I was talking to my husband about like, oh, I kind of want to buy these, and he's like, just do it. Just buy them. So I bought 3 of her sweater patterns and a shawl pattern, and I'm kind of thinking of casting on, is it Tegna? I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't remember. But it's a beautiful sweater, short sleeve, fingering weight sweater. I'm considering casting that one on. She has a couple other ones like the Sunset. I think the Sunset Highway is hers. Oh, forgive me if I'm quoting that wrong. But like I wanna knit a bunch of these sweaters. So, oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. Excuse me for looking at my phone, but I don't want to be misquoting this. I would feel so terrible. But yeah, I want to knit a bunch of these sweaters because I have fingering weight yarn, and that's about all I have in sweater quantities at the moment. We're just gonna go to my queue because I moved them up. Caitlin Hunter. Wow, am I in the wrong zip code? Am I a terrible person? Is she the same person? She is. Good, we're good. Panic for a moment. But yeah, the Sunset Highway pullover, I purchased Martimo, a shawl pattern, and then Tegna, or however you pronounce it. The only thing is with that one, I would probably not knit it cropped. I would probably knit it a little longer because I'm not super into that cropped look. It drives me nuts. I'm always pulling it down. But that's easily a modification I think I could do with that pattern. But I purchased all those patterns. I want to knit a shawl. I want to knit a sweater. More socks. I mean, after I show, I've kind of been waiting to cast on Justin's socks because I want to show you the yarn first before I cast on. But I'll be knitting Justin another pair of socks and doing all that kind of stuff. So we're going to move on. But another thing is I found this Knit Picks yarn from ages ago again. This Knit Picks gloss. I mean, it's so old. I need to reskein these, but or retwist them up. This is embarrassing. But I have it in these 2 colors, and they weren't intended to go together. But I kind of think I want to knit a shawl out of these. But I basically only have the amount of about 2 fingering weight skeins of yarn, even though there's 4 skeins here. Each one is only 50 grams, so I'd have 2 100-gram skeins of fingering weight yarn. I kind of want to knit a smaller shawl with these because I think those colors would look really good together. So if you have any suggestions for that, let me know, because every time I see those two colors together, I'm like, those need to become a shawl. I like those colors together. And I've been saying that for years, so I think it's time, honestly. But with that, I think that's done with upcoming cast-ons. Holy cow, lots of stuff. We're gonna move on, but lots of stuff. We'll move on to the next one, Stash Enhancement and Wool Piggery. Guys, I love this bag so much. A lady never discusses the size of her yarn stash. But I put my stash enhancement in here this time. We did go on vacation this last month, middle of March, and we went to Madison to get together with my friends And we all met up in Madison to meet one of my friend's new baby and just get together and hang out. Now that we've all been married and stuff, we don't have the excuse of going to each other's weddings. So now we just kind of get together when we can. And we had to meet baby, so that was great. That was fun. But my request was, when we did all of our shopping, I just wanted to buy some yarn to knit Justin some socks while I was down there. That was all I had. I was just like, can we stop at like a Joann's or a Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something like that so I can pick up some yarn? And my friend was like, I can do better than that. We're going to go to this store called Wisconsin Craft Market that has good wool yarn. And I was like, ooh, good wool yarn. And I'm thinking maybe like Cascade or just something like that. No, we meant indie dyer good. We walked through that door and I was gone for at least 20 minutes. I was gone. I was the only knitter in the bunch and they humored me, which was absolutely amazing. Thanks guys, you're the best. Because Justin knows, he just follows me because he knows, like, if I go to a bookstore or a yarn store, if he doesn't follow me, he's going to lose me in 5 seconds flat. Because I just go. But I ended up, we'll just go with his yarn first. I got some yarn to knit him some socks because that was what I went in there for. And they had tons of indie dyers and everything, but he ended up choosing this Patton's Croy socks in the blue raspberry colorway, and honestly, it is cool. I love it. I'm surprised he likes it, but it's because it's got all kinds of purple and stuff in it. And these are the same dye lot, but they look quite different, but it doesn't matter. I'm not into matching my socks, and he doesn't care, so doesn't matter. But like, oh, I wish you could just, come on. Yes, you kind of have to look at it in the light, but yeah, there's a really, really pretty colors. If you go on my Instagram, I have good pictures of all the yarn I'm going to show you today, and on my blog. But yeah, I got 2 skeins of that to knit him some socks, so I was excited about that. And then we'll start with the first story. I discovered they have hedgehog. They have hedgehog fiber. I went nuts. I was just like, I've always loved the color sense of hedgehog because they have a lot of neons, and I'm obsessed with neons. And so when I found they had hedgehog, like they had leading mint fiber hearts, fiber arts, hedgehog fibers, oh my goodness, they had so many, I can't even name them all, and so many new ones to me that I just, if I had infinite money, I would have left with hundreds of dollars worth of yarn. As it was, I left with like $100 worth of yarn. But anyway, moving on. I got 2 skeins of hedgehog. They're both in the twist sock. They're just, one is the old label and one is the new label. One is in, this is anime. Oh, I love it. It's like grays with tons of pops of neon. And like I said, the lighting isn't the best today, but if you go on Instagram or my blog, I have pictures up of this stuff. And then the other color I got, I'm pretty sure I've seen this elsewhere and I love it so much. It's, what? Fly, I think? But it's this like minty green color with tons of just pops of neons in it. Oh, I love it. And basically, the intent is, I have these 2 skeins. I think they work pretty well together, and I kind of want to knit a 2 skein shawl, or add a skein in and knit a 3 color shawl. I'm not sure yet, but I kind of want to keep these together. I mean, that may change. I may decide to do otherwise, but I love these colors together. So I was like, when I was picking my colors, I thought, well, maybe I'll use 2 skeins that I can work together if I want to. And I know it's intense, but that's why I got the gray tone background, the green, but I don't care. I love neons. I love intense. I was that kid in school that had the neon paper of all of my poster boards, and it drove people's nuts because their eyes burned out. And I was like, that's me. I love it. So yeah, I got these. So my camera got kind of sick of me just like babbling on, and it did its auto record stop. So we're going to start again. I had finished talking about hedgehog, and then I was going to tell you about my new dyer to me. This is a new dyer to me. I have never heard of this one. A Whimsical Wood Yarn Co. There was something about it. Every time they had them all set up in these aisles, and every time we walked past this dyer's yarn, I kept looking like, I like these colors. I like those colors. And so finally I was just like, I keep walking past this. I have to get a skein of this yarn. My husband was just like, why do you keep going there over there? Because I love her color sets. I have to walk away with a skein of this. But a Whimsical Wood Yarn Co. I think the base is Perkity Purr. And the color is the Wizard. I mean, the Wizard, come on. It's amazing. But like the colors are just this beautiful. It's like almost like a black over the top. Over dye maybe? I don't know. But probably not. But because it's not everywhere. Retract what I said. But it's this black with speckles and neons. I mean, that section there alone with the neons and just the pops of neons as you just sort of... I haven't unwound this cake yet, or the skein, but I can't wait when I do because I feel like there's just going to be so many surprises of bright colors in here. I love it so much. I bought it with the intention of knitting a sockhead hat, although I feel like I don't want to do that anymore because I want to use as much of this skein as possible. So maybe I'll put it in a shawl? I don't know. I'm open to suggestions right now because I like this so much. I just want to make sure I use as much of it as I can before the last of it gets demoted to like a monster sock or a scrap blanket or something. But yeah, and not demoted, but like, you know, placed in with something with a lot of other yarn. But, oh, I love it. I'm so excited about it. That entire experience was really cool. I loved shopping at Wisconsin Craft Market, getting all this yarn. Like, I know we'll be back to Madison eventually, and when we do, I totally need to go back there. So, I left with a bunch of yarn. I was very happy with it. No regrets there. Stash enhancement, then when we got back from vacation, I was demoing at the Fiberama sale for our Copper Country Community Arts Center, which I'm on the board for. And I ended up teaching someone to crochet, which was really fun. But it was really low key. And at the sale, I couldn't help it. I walked away with two little, I don't know what you'd call this. It's 2 ounce little like roving, balls of roving, I think, from the Opulent Fibers. It's basically the Fiberama sale is people donate items to the art center that they don't need anymore, like yarn, cones of yarn, fabric, wool, even supplies and tools, which I will share in a little bit. But they donate these things and then everything goes to the art center. So these beautiful bits of wool came home with me because I thought they'd be the perfect thing to spin on like a drop spindle. So I got those. I'm only going to sort of carry this up here because I got the better part of an Inco loom. Ah! Okay, you're not even going to be able to see it. Whatever. But I bought an Inco loom. And I also bought a warping board. But yeah, and I also got a lead. I'm dropping everything. I got a lead on a possible table loom. We'll see if that happens or not. I haven't heard anything from the person yet. But I got a warping board and an Inco loom, so I was really excited. That was a lot of fun. I'll talk more about that later. I'm trying to think, am I missing anything here? No, I think that is it for stash enhancements. I mean, that's a lot of stuff for me after not having anything for a couple months. But that's why I was saving my money so that when I went hog wild on vacation, it wouldn't matter. And speaking of going hog wild on vacation, I need this. I've got so many notes. Yeah. I'm just going to move on to my non-knit loves. We went on vacation. We were in Madison, and then we also stopped by Eagle River, Wisconsin, where my family lives. But when we were in Madison, we went shopping with my friends. We did a bunch of stuff, and then we also went shopping on our last day before we went out of town. Because there were a couple stores I wanted to hit in the mall that my friends have no need to go to, like Lane Bryant and stuff. Because, you know, plus size, proud, Lane Bryant and Torrid. But I wanted to go there, like, bra shopping and stuff. I'm like, I'm not bringing everyone along, and Justin doesn't mind just chilling. So we stopped there, and I ended up doing some damage at a bunch of stores. The first one that we ended up going to is we bought some books, and I say we because one of these is actually Justin's, but I have to share it with you. We always love going into their Barnes & Noble. It's huge, and like I said, Justin has learned that if he doesn't follow me and like basically be attached to my hip during the entire shopping experience in a bookstore, especially one that big, that he will lose me. Like, I'll be gone. And I won't even notice because I'll just be browsing titles and running around the store and just absolutely absorbing all of the books. And he's just like, oh my gosh, she's gone. I lost her already. Even so, he still lost me, but for a little while he was following me around because he's like, I know I'm going to lose you if I don't follow you. I just love bookstores. Oh my gosh, I love bookstores. I love books. I love yarn. Ugh. But anyway, I did get a couple books. We'll start with Dune. I finally bought Dune. Yes, I've never read the book, but I have seen the movie. But my mom had talked about reading the book years ago, and I wanted to read it, and my grandma had read it, and everybody had read it, and I'm just like, I want to read this. And I remember one of my memories was talking to my mom about this book, and she said that it was a really good book, but she had trouble getting into it because this is this entirely new world you have to learn. And it's very detailed. I mean, obviously, I believe it's huge. Like, this book is huge, which excites me. And the print's not super huge. It's not tiny, but so there's a lot in here. And she just said it was harder to get into because, you know, it's this entire world you have to learn. But once you get into it, you're good. And I'm just like, well, maybe in this sense, it's a good thing I've seen the movie because I have an idea of how the world works a little bit, like this alternate world. Although I tend to feel that the books are almost always better than the movie. Except for the ending in Stardust. Never mind. Oh, moving on. But, yeah. Like, normally I feel like the books are better. So I'm really excited to dive into this and just learn more about the story. Because I've always liked this story. So, I'm going to read the first book. There's more. There's more if I love it. There are more books. So, fear not. I may be going down another rabbit hole. This is going to be a while for me to get to it. And then they had their, like, collector's edition. Like, they do compilations of different authors, classic authors and stories. And I'm always a sucker for those. And now my husband is too. Oops. And so a collection of stories he's really wanted to read are the Arabian Nights. And so they had this beautifully bound book, the Arabian Nights. And I love the stories too. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick this one up. You can pick it up and read it whenever you want to because I'm not going to get to it right away. But I mean, they've got like the gold backed and then the little ribbon bookmark and the beautiful cover. There's no dust jacket, which always makes me nervous with beautiful books like this, but everything would be lost. This beautiful cover would be lost if you had a dust jacket. So got Arabian Nights. That one was technically mine. And then my husband came home. He's like, we have to get this. I wasn't going to say no. I love it. The Complete Tales of Winnie the Pooh. So technically this is his. How old are we? He's like, what, 30 something, up lower 30s, and I'm in my late 20s. Yeah, we're buying Winnie the Pooh. But shush, don't judge. Winnie the Pooh is the best. When we were at my friend's, we watched Christopher Robin, and it was adorable. So we had to get it. But same deal. Like the beautiful gold, and then the ribbon bookmark, and the illustrations in here. Oh, brings me back to my childhood. So we basically have a running agreement, even though these are like technically each books, and there are books, it's whatever. But I love this. It is so adorable. I'm so glad he found it because he actually found it in a different part of the store that I hadn't looked at. I love it. But yeah, I mean, you know, priorities, books. Oh, let's see here. I'm just gonna start digging. I'm gonna start digging through stuff. Let's go to. I have a pile of stuff on the floor here. So, let's do this first. So, I have always been a board game-aholic. I love board games. I am a board game junkie. I've been that way since I was a little kid. Board game and card games. I was that person. I was always bugging my parents since I was an only child to play board games with me because it's kind of hard to play by yourself, although I tried. Monopoly, Battleship, Boggle, classics like that. But as the years have progressed, more strategy games have come out that have been more elaborate. Catan, which I own, Labyrinth, based off of the movie with David Bowie, Labyrinth. We actually own that as well. We haven't played a full game of that yet, just because we haven't sat down to learn it, but my husband bought that for me. Monopoly has always been great. Westiopoly. Thank you, Justin. He bought me Westiopoly. Games like that. We love was it Betrayal on House on the Hill? That one's really fun. We don't own that one, but we've played that with friends. The Munchkins game, like it's a card game, that was really fun. We played that with friends. And then we ended up buying a couple games while we were on our trip. I wanted to get Ticket to Ride for ages. I've heard it's fun. I know it can be geared for a younger audience and an older audience. I don't really care. It's trains. I love trains. I mean, I know Justin and I will play this, and we can certainly weasel my dad into playing this game because he loves trains. So yeah, we got this one. Oh, like card games too, Exploding Kittens, Unstable Unicorns, things like that. But we bought Ticket to Ride, and then we actually went to a specialty game store in Madison because my friends were looking for some specific games. And I'm not always ready to shell out $100 for a board game. At this point, I'm not that dedicated to the cause, but a lot of them were. But they had this really cute game, and Milo was like, "Oh yeah, we've played this before. It's less expensive and it's a lot of fun." And it's Sushi Go Party. So this is the one that you can play with more people. The original game, I think it's like 4 players, and this you can have like up to 8 players, 2 to 8 players. But before my battery was rudely telling me that it was about to die, we were discussing Sushi Go Party, but like, it is a really fun game. My husband isn't as into like deep strategy games as I am, because it's just a different type of learning to learn these games, and for him some of those like really intense strategy games take more turns to learn than it would for me. But like the cards are adorable, like the designs are just the cutest. And this game is pretty simple to learn. So it was really fun. It was really fun. I'm glad I bought it. Yeah, we enjoyed it. You can play it. It is a 2-player game as well, so it's one of those games that my husband and I can play together, and not rely on trying to find a group of friends or people from church or something to play it. So, oh, if I lose all my cards, that's just gonna sit on the floor. Alrighty. Oh, we're train wrecking the longer we go. But anyway, that was a really fun game. So I'm glad I got that one. What are other games? We did try playing this game called BioShock Infinite Siege of Columbia. That was a little intense. I'm not gonna lie, that one, it took us a really long couple hours, like 3 hours or more to try to learn it. It was intense. So that one, I don't know if I'd be super into playing again. I mean, but the truth is, I'm pretty much down to play board games if somebody's willing to play it. Or if they pull out a board game and say, hey, let's play this one, I'm probably going to join in just because I like playing board games. So I'd probably play that one again just for that reason. But some of those games get really intense, and then it's like, oh, my brain hurts. But it's fun. It's fun. So we did that a lot when we were down there. But we left with a couple board games. Excuse me. You guys know already that I am a tote bagaholic, and Target is my drug dealer for tote bags. So I got a bunch of them. What does this one say? Live your dreams. This one's really cute. I'm going to use this for projects, I think. And then they had like a whole bunch of pet parent related ones. Like, what does this one say? Dog mom and the boop goes on. It's super cute. What is this one? My dog is awesome. But honestly, I know people think it's excessive to have this many tote bags, but I honestly use tote bags for literally everything except my grocery shopping, guys. I need to get better at that. I have tote bags in the car at all times, and I never, like, reusable grocery bags and stuff, and I never use them. Because when you work in the store and all your grocery bags are in the car, I just don't want to leave the store, go out to my car, and come back. I just want to leave and not go back, guys. Because I work there. I know it's lame. There's that. And then I got this one, Meow, Play Hard, Nap Harder. I technically don't own a cat. but we would absolutely love to own a cat and dogs at some point. Maisie May lives at my dad's. We don't have her here because we can't have pets here. But then they just had like lots of little pouches and stuff. But in that sense, I mean, I cannot go on a trip without buying something for my Maisie May. So we got her own woolly Mastadon. Justin found this at Target in Madison, and I was like, oh my gosh, she has to have her own woolly Mastadon. I mean, woolly Mastadon, like, come on, like it's my thing. So Maisie May's got to have one. She has a llama. She got it for Christmas. She's got to have a little woolly Mastadon. It's like the cutest thing ever. I love it. It's going to get destroyed in 5 seconds flat. Actually, this one is pretty. It's sturdy. It's just that she likes to just like slime her toys and play with them like any dog does. So that was that. And then the last thing I will share, it's a little different because it's not related to the podcast. So if you guys don't like this, just let me know. But I rarely share this stuff anyway. But I do like playing with makeup now and then, just for fun. I used to hate it. As a kid, I absolutely hated it. Like, it was a fight. It was a fight. If I had to wear makeup for anything, I was in dance as a really little kid. That was like war. If she tried to put makeup on me for a recital, it was war. I was like, Mom, you're in heaven now, but I'm sorry, because I was a pain in the butt. But I didn't even get into makeup until I pretty much graduated from college. So like 5 years ago now. That's pretty much when I got into it. I didn't even, all through high school and stuff, I couldn't be bothered. I mean, even now, I can't always be bothered. I don't wear it every day. But I think it's fun. And so sometimes when I get a chance to go to an Ulta, I'll get some stuff. And basically, the reason why I wanted to go into the Ulta in Madison is because I've wanted to try ColourPop, and word on the street was that they sell it at Ulta, but they don't sell it at our Ulta in Marquette, which is 2 hours away from me still. When we go to Marquette, I always check. Well, they don't sell it there. But they sold it in Madison. So I finally got one of the ColourPop palettes that I've wanted to try for ages. This one is Double Entendre. And I don't know what I'm doing here. But I just want to, like, guys, this is me. This is me right here. I love it. It'll get a lot of use. I'm just happy they had it. Because I like playing with eyeshadow. I can't paint to save my life, but I feel like I can at least do eyeshadow. So when I found out there was something with the brush that I could do, that's what I did. I also got some blushes, the Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon and the Milani Blossom Time Rose powder blush. They're really pretty. I like them both. I mean, something to use. And then I finally got a ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in Times Square. So yeah, I got a few things. And then the biggest thing I bought in that situation, and then a little puff from Target because, you know, can't say no. The biggest thing I bought was the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Guys, I've been looking at this for a long time, and I only go to Ulta like 1 or 2 times a year, so I bought it. I mean, this is basically the only palette you'll ever need for all eternity, and of course it won't be the only palette I'll ever buy for all eternity, but it's beautiful and I love it. And I've never used Morphe before, so I was really excited about that. My husband just sat in the car while I went and did these things, but I was excited. So, I mean, that is another side. I do like to play with that stuff sometimes, but it's not an all the time thing. Oh, I just wanted to share. Dollar Tree is awesome, and they have little cacti things, so hit up Dollar Tree if you're in Dollar Tree anytime soon. Just saying. It's worth it. But then our last, I think that's it for the non-knit love. So now let's just move on to Life Lately. If you're not interested, you can sign off now. Thanks for watching. But Life Lately, holy cow, we went on vacation. Like I've been talking about the whole time. We went to Madison to visit my friends and hang out and meet their baby and just have a good time. And oh my goodness, it was so needed. It was so needed. My husband even got the call while we were there that he had gotten the job he had applied for. So it was like we were already chill because we were on vacation, and we were just even more relaxed because of that. So it was really needed. I mean, when we came back to work. I didn't want to come back, but I have been in a way better mindset than I was before we left. So that has been amazing. It's awesome what taking some time away from work and then just visiting friends can do. It's so needed, and it was so good. Like I said, we played a lot of board games. Oh my goodness, we played a lot of board games. We went to Dave & Buster's, which I'm not really into arcade games. I'm not into Game Boys, Nintendo. See, I don't even know what they are anymore. Was it Switch? We played some Mario Kart Party. Guys, this is how much I know about this. And that was, I had never done that before, so I had major learning curve experience there. But that was fun. But like, we went to Dave & Buster's, and my husband his eyes just lit up, and it was like a kid in a candy store. He was so excited. So that was fun. Went bowling, wandered around town, did a whole bunch of stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was really needed. It was great. It was just great to get out of town. The car behaved, which never happens, so that was great. And then when we got back into town, I worked for a few days, and then we had the Fiberama sale, where I taught somebody to crochet and just chilled with a bunch of people. And I met a local spinner who has Golding drop spindles and a Golding spinning wheel, like top of the line, beautiful equipment. She let me touch all the drop spindles she brought her with her. Supported spindles. It was just a dream, because it's stuff that I probably, at least at this point, it's not in my budget to even consider buying it, but to see it in person was just such a treat. And the inspiration I brought from that event was amazing, because it's all like-minded people. That's basically the two biggest things that happened in this last month. Just been trying to get back into the groove. Spring is finally kind of here. The snow started melting, and the sun's out more, so I'm looking outside. So I'm actually feeling motivated to do more things, which has been great. Yeah, just like finally seeing my plants thrive again, because the dark hits all of us the same. Like, they get pretty droopy in the last winter months, and now they're just finally perking up. You can't even, can you really see back here my aloe plant, which I got from a friend who ran our floral department for a while. I bought it from her discount because it was one that needed care, and it's happy. It's very happy. So I'm glad I got that, because it's alive and well. But like, just things like that, just getting back into the swing of things, trying to tidy up the apartment when it was kind of sitting in ruin for a while, because I just didn't have the desire to do it. Organized my jewelry this morning, because, you know, you go to film a podcast and you look for earrings and all your necklaces are tangled together. So I had bought organizers from Target like 2 years ago, and I finally put them up and organized my stuff. So yeah, I'm really rambling. Let's make sure I didn't forget anything. No, I don't think I did. And if I did, it can wait till next month or a blog post. Because guys, I've been talking your ear off. I have no idea how long this is going to be. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you've got ideas for what I should knit next, what shawls, sweaters, anything, I'm up for it. I'm in a knitting mood. I want to knit all the things. I need to get my spinning wheel out. I crochet. Like, if it's an adorable crochet animal that I have to make, let me know, because I will make it. I'm not afraid of any of those things. So I think with that, I've got a mess at my feet of all the stuff I talked about, so I need to start boxing that up before I go say hi to my dad tonight. So with that, just to recap, you can find me on Instagram as Victoria Schwanke. You can find me on Ravelry as lilwestie, L-A-L-Westie. Woolymastodon.wordpress.com is the blog. Definitely check that out. Show notes are located there, so if you are looking for something that I talked about today, it'll be talked about in there as well, hopefully. As well as some of the stuff I do individual blog posts as well, so if I'm recapping it here, it's already aired on the blog. So take a look there. I think with that, I'm going to say happy spring, happy knitting, happy crocheting, happy spinning, happy creating. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending all this time with me. I hope that I left some inspiration with you and that you can share some with me. And I will see you next time. Bye.